back to the 10th Pint podcast. Today we're here as normal with Michael, and we have a very special guest. We have the Cheap Thrills band on.
Hello.
Hello.
So we're gonna start off with going back to the start. So how did you form a band and how old were you? How old are you now? And how old were you when you started the band?
You were about 14, weren't we?
So what happened? It was Boxing Day. Can you remember what year it was, Fitzy? 2010 maybe.
10 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. Fitzy got a bass and a bass amp for Christmas, and I already had a drum kit. And on Boxing Day, he came round and we was just having a little jam. I mean, it wasn't like there was no band name or nothing. We was just messing around, and that happened for a couple of months. And then we started thinking, we need a guitarist, because it was just bass and drums, weren't it?
Yeah. And we basically learned together as well. A lot of the instruments, when we first, apart from Anton was the only one who sort of knew what he was doing. I think,
yeah. But, yeah, I'd had drum lessons before.
Definitely for me, I definitely learned as we went along.
Yeah, so we started from scratch, complete scratch, really, because we didn't have a clue what we were doing, and it was just a mess about. So we said we had these bass and drum jams, and then we got Terry in to play guitar and Louis in to play guitar as well. And we didn't have a singer, did we? We were just messing around, just playing all covers and just as you normally would.
Yeah, we only had one mic, so we had to choose between a vocal or a guitar.
Yeah. I remember, Fitzy, you sang on one of the first songs, didn't you? We were doing Not 19 Forever by the Cortinas.
Yeah.
Fitzy used to sing that one.
Yeah, and then everyone thought, nah. I think we might give Louis a go there.
Yeah, that's when we realised we needed a singer. Yeah, and then Louis just stepped in, and obviously he's stayed the same role ever since, so fast forward 10 years later, that's where we are. We went to school together, primary school together. That's how we knew Louis and Teddy. And this was in high school, so I went to Maricourt.
So did we, yeah.
Yeah, we went.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
And and Fitzy and Teddy went to Archbishop Beck. But we all knew each other from little school.
So when did you start? Who writes the songs?
Louis predominantly writes the lyrics and little melodies and that, and he'll take it into us four, and we'll add stuff, we'll change stuff.
Yeah, we all write the music together.
Yeah.
But in terms of where the songs come from, they can originate from anything really. So a lot of them recently have been Louis coming in with a few with a few melodies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But now it can start from anywhere.
Yeah, we've all got a bit more involved. I think Terry came in with the Smile When You Sleep, lyrics and melody. Maybe, I'm pretty sure. It's mainly Louis, but as the years went on, we've all started to get more involved in it. But Louis sort of the focal point of it.
How long does it take to write the songs? Because you hear some for example, you hear Oasis, Noel's talking about he wrote Supersonic in 20 minutes and stuff. You know what I mean?
They're all the best ones that get wrote quick. Honestly, it's mad, isn't it?
But we have had ones in the past that take months and months.
Years, lad.
There's been ones where we really like the idea or the feel or something, and we just can't get it together. Do you know what I mean?
The first one you wrote, all written, is that on Spotify or is that just completely not?
No, I don't think you can find it. If you look hard enough.
Is there anything on the SoundCloud? Or
I think we made it all private because they're not very good. Obviously, but you need to start somewhere, and I think because we've kept the same band name, which not many people do, we haven't tried to change anything. If people search the Cheap Thrills and the songs coming up from 9 years ago when we were 15, it's obviously not going to be that good in comparison to stuff we're doing now.
Yeah.
We had, what was the first song we wrote? Was it called Riddler, Fitzy?
Yeah, I think so.
It was Riddler, wasn't it? And we did actually record that.
It was the first one we recorded, default.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And we had one called You Cry, and people still ask us to play that now because people liked it that much. we still don't play it, do we? It's just mad.
Do you think we should do that one day? Go back and do the full catalogue, start to finish.
Yeah, one day we will. One day.
I think a lot of bands are like that though. Like I feel you see a lot of them once they've like been a band for a few years, they start like getting rid of like the early songs because they've sort of moved on with like
the
identity of music and stuff. What's your favourite song to play live?
I think mine's Saint or Sinner. I think what we've got, the reason being, it's just dead easy, and it always just for some reason it just sounds good and goes right every time. There's some songs where you think, oh, I'm not looking forward to playing this particular section in it because I'm scared I might mess up on it or it mightn't come across as good. But it's for me, Saint or Sinner.
Yeah, mine's probably Codependence. Like,
oh yeah, forgot about that.
It's only because, like, you know, when people like singing to it and that, it's boss. But like in terms of like playing, I like Time Waster. Me, it's a fun little song to play. Like,
yeah. So Time Waster was a song that we literally had for about 2 years. We kept playing it in practice, and it just weren't going anywhere. Like we had the chorus melody and stuff, but you could never get the song. Because it took us ages to finish because we just kept leaving it and coming back to it, leaving it and coming back to it.
I don't even think I was there for that. The one that you've got it, you know, for the practice.
Didn't you?
I'm pretty sure I come back and use a sorted it. I was like, it must have been old news back there.
So what age did you start off like doing gigs then? Like what was the first one?
The first gig was in the Zanzibar.
Yeah, we'd been practicing for like 9 months or something before we even gig like. But looking back, we probably needed a bit more.
Yeah,
practice,
probably. Yeah, we thought, we've been practicing for 9 months here. We're well ready. I mean, because we should have really been practicing for about 2 years before you'd even start like gigging and stuff. But yeah,
most bands like they've been together about a month and that, and they go, oh yeah, well, that's a fucking gig. But wasn't the case for us. Like,
no, I think we were 14, 15. I think, 14, 15.
Was that like supporting someone? Was that like your?
No, it was a Sunday afternoon in the Zanzibar. It was like a matinee gig, you know, for like younger ages, under 18s. Because obviously all of our mates were well under 18. So, it was just like our own headline. It was rammed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Got loads of people. We got like 100 people in there. Yeah, you hear some people saying like the first gig was awful. Our first gig was proper boss. We mightn't have been that good, but we loved it.
Did you just play your own stuff, or did you just do covers for like your first like wave of gigs or such?
We had 2 covers in the set. We done we had 8 tunes, or we might have had 10 tunes, and we played 2 covers, which was "Leave Before the Lights Come On" Arctic Monkeys and "Not 19 Forever" by the Cortinas.
Oh, that's class.
2 indie classics.
Who you say is like the biggest influence then, like talking about Arctic Monkeys and them type of bands, like just sort because it's sort of they're the nearest. I'd say they're the biggest band of like the last 20 years.
Yeah.
So you said, like, what sort of bands have influenced like your music?
It's probably like the Arctics for me.
it's different for like.
It is. It's different, isn't it?
Like for me, like, you know, like when you first get into music and like going to gigs and that, like, you know, you'd have like your startup bands, don't you? You'd have your like your Oasises and stuff like that, stuff that really gets you into music. You know what I mean? And like, you know, where you get the love for it from. But then, like, you know, as you develop like your taste towards it, though, like, you know, one of the biggest bands for me would have been like The Clash and stuff like that. And but like I'm really into like electronic music and stuff like that. Like, you know, like this quite broad for me, particularly like. But I think it is different for all of us, definitely.
Yeah, like so when I first started like getting into bands and music, I just love like indie bands, just indie landfill. Like I used to love the Kaiser Chiefs and like Pigeon Detectives and just like all them kind of 2005 indie bands with Be the Enemy. That's what I used to love, and it's probably saying that now people think, oh, that's not that cool and that, but that was honestly what I liked. Like I heard interviews and I hear people going like, yeah man, I was 12 and I was listening to like Jesus and the Mary Chain or like these mad bands. Like I weren't that cool. I just used to listen to just like indie bands. But obviously, as time gets on, like you start like listening to more. And I love new stuff. Me, I like going on Spotify and just searching like mad psych bands and that.
Yeah, you get like deeper into it, don't you? You obviously start off with your Oasis and like the classic ones, like. But then it's not that you get bored of them, is it? It's like you've heard all that now. You want something new, don't you?
Yeah,
exactly.
you can always go back to
them.
Yeah.
And you get this. You get like that little nostalgic buzz off it. So yeah.
So what's the best gig you've said you've done so far? And where was it?
What are you saying, Fitz?
I don't know. Probably the O2 for me.
Yeah, same lad.
Just in terms of like, you like, because it was one of I was away for a bit and it was one of the first gigs of coming back and I was just amazed up to be on that stage.
Yeah,
like,
it only turns up for the big gigs.
yeah, just saying I'm only here for the big gigs. Flew straight home.
No, it was boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Fitzy went away for a bit. He went to Canada, and we obviously wanted to keep going. So we was just playing, the three of us. So we were playing all these mad gigs in Brighton and just like in little pubs and just proper like just proper shit gigs basically. And then Fitzy comes back for that one. It was like, what the best one we've ever done. That was the O2 Academy.
Yeah.
So, which you said you were there, weren't you? Or one of you was?
Yeah, I was there for that one. Yeah.
Boss.
Yeah.
How many people did you get in there? Like,
I think it was 550.
is it? Yeah, it's quite big that early.
Yeah. It was like an accumulation of everything. Like everything's built up to that moment, sort of thing. Like releasing EPs, gigging, and it was just like we put it on ourselves as well. Which, if you're not really in a band, you mightn't really understand the process behind it. But like we didn't go through any promoters or nothing to help us. We just sort of done it on our own.
Just like not have a manager, you just manage yourselves.
Yeah, but that's not through choice. We love a manager, you know what I mean. But no one's asked us, so we've just got to get on with it.
I'm quite surprised at that though, really, because like if you look on, I don't know if Spotify's a good guide, like, but all your songs are most of them on like over 150,000, 130,000 listens and that. Like, you know.
Yeah, that's something we're proud of. Like this day and age, sort of Spotify sort kind of represents where you are.
Like when we started like getting more plays, it was it was quite promising. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like you have to just get the right person to be looking at your page. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's a bit annoying, Spotify. Like, I don't know if you make much money from it, but like, obviously, like back, like say, like 10 years ago, you'd probably be selling CDs and stuff instead.
Yeah,
defo. Yeah, it is. It's weird. I think Spotify is really good for upcoming artists like us, but if you're established, it's sort of not so good. Yeah, if you get on big playlists like the indie list and stuff like that, that got our streams right up and got us a few £100, and then you get gigs booked, on the back of that.
Yeah.
What you might get a few quid from me, not much, because whenever you play a different city, you're not making money even, and you're lucky to break even. But yeah, I think so for newer bands, it's quite good. But if you're already established and you're trying to earn your full living off music,
your reach as well, like you'd have a look at some of our plays, like we can have a look, and like there's some like mad places where people are listening, which I think's great at the same time, although we might be earning a little bit less money from it. Like, but I think in terms of reach, it's really good to get you out there and listened to by people from all sorts of places. Like,
yeah, what was it like playing America earlier on in the year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was in March,
yeah,
right?
It was in March, like in the middle of a global pandemic, like.
Yeah, probably not the most sensible thing to do, because we all came back sick, didn't we?
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the reasons why we haven't been practicing together. But New York, it was weird because when we left, this coronavirus thing in England and in the UK wasn't an issue really. Like, it was this all. Well, what I thought, like, all this coronavirus is like just in America, in China, in wherever, and it hadn't hit England yet.
Yeah.
And when we got over to New York, it was like in the middle of the pandemic, and it was just like, oh my god, there's no one here. So we were meant to play.
Like all the like everything was shut while we were over there. It was mad. There was like no one about. It was mad.
We were meant to play 2 gigs, and the first gig was Boss, and there was loads of people in there because we brought loads of our mates over as well. But after the gig, I spoke to the promoter, and he was like, the next gig tomorrow's been cancelled, and we were like, oh, no way. Like, we just came, like, got a flight with 20, 30 of us to America to play 2 gigs, and the next one's been cancelled. But we ended up finding another gig in Brooklyn. I woke up the morning, I was just emailing, texting, ringing all these mad American people who I've never spoke to before, just saying, we need a gig. And we got one, yeah.
How did that come about then? Like, originally going to America?
It came about through our old manager. I don't know what it was, but he just basically got an email saying, we've got this festival called New Colossus, and we're looking for bands just to come over and play. It just came through that.
Think you'll go back to like other countries and stuff? Like, would you do it again?
Yeah, like definitely do it 100%. Like, hopefully, in better circumstances, definitely it'd be all right. Like, because we were meant to have a DJ set as well, and that would have been great as well. I was really looking forward to that. But I think in the end we were lucky, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? Like the situation could have been a lot worse. Do you know what I mean? We might not have even got on the flight.
We probably sound like a bit pessimistic. It was Boss. The whole trip was it was amazing. Like, it's one of the best experiences I've ever done in my life. It was like a bucket list moment. And the gigs went really well, and it was just mad being in a different country with the band and your mates and that. So it was Boss. It was just mad circumstances, that's all.
So what would you say, like, what would you change about the music industry? Like, what's the worst part of, like, being sort of an up-and-coming band type thing?
It's a good question. Yeah. Let me have a little think.
Yeah, in terms of like music scenes and stuff like that, like I think a lot more could be like put into them. Do you know what I mean? Like I think there should be a lot more community in regards to like bands like starting out and stuff like that. Like it's great like being from Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. But it's just, I think like in terms of having like music scenes and stuff like that, I think a lot more can be done in terms of that.
Yeah, like I feel like in Manchester and places like that, there is a bigger music scene, and like I don't know if it's just me that thinks that, but
yeah. Well, maybe just in terms of like our music specifically, like, do you know what I mean? Like, we've probably got some of like the biggest, we've got like Cream and stuff like that, haven't we? Like, in terms of like DJs and stuff like that. But in terms of like, maybe guitar music, it might just start a little bit of a slump at the minute. But we'll be back.
I think what's good, like when we started out, it was a lot worse. I thought. I don't know whether that was because of like our position as a new band in the Liverpool music scene, but obviously we're a bit older now. Like we're tiny bit more well known. Not saying, I think people have heard of us a little bit more, and I don't know whether it's that, but it seems to be a bit better. And a lot of the young bands as well, they all seem to be very like all mates and all that, which is nice to see. Like all the young bands sort of support each other, which when we were that age, that weren't really happening. Everyone was a bit like snotty and snobby.
Yeah. Was it more like a competition then?
Yeah, definitely when we first started. But I think now, like looking on Instagram and that, you'd always see like bands commenting on other bands' music, saying Boss and like sharing it, and that's what I'd like to see more of, I think. And we do try and do it, but in all fairness, sometimes it isn't reciprocated, and you think like everyone needs to pull together here. We're all like, if one band in Liverpool becomes successful, it's great for the whole community. So like, if you're in a band, you should want the band in the other rehearsal room over the road to be just as successful as you, because it's only gonna, if you're thinking selfishly, it's only gonna benefit you and the community as a whole.
Yeah, like if one band's gaining fans and then say you're supporting them, or you have like a similar like type of genre and stuff, they're probably gonna like you as well.
Yeah, definitely, lad. Like there was an example in Birmingham. Like they had that movement called the B-Town scene, and like I think it was Peace who started it.
Yeah.
or I don't know who it was who started it, but loads of bands in Birmingham started getting signed. You had like Peace, Swim Deep, Jaws, True Bucket, and all these Superfood. You had all these mad Birmingham bands, and they were all like the same genre, but because one of them got big, all of them started taking off.
So what would you say, like, inside the next 3 years, where would you want to be? What's success?
Not
yeah.
trips over to America to do me.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, hopefully they get paid for it next time.
Yeah.
You're not get paid, no.
No, we had to. It came off our. We had to do it ourselves, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's
but,
like a showcase festival. I think
Yeah,
the point
so-
of it is to to get people signed and stuff like that.
So that's common. So say if you play South by Southwest, you'll be very lucky if you got to pay for you, and you normally have to apply for grants through the government and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And that's why many bands can't afford to go, understandably, because of the massive costs involved. But yeah, that is quite common, and that you are lucky if you get your flights and all that paid for. Because it was only a small little showcase festival. If you're playing like a big festival somewhere, you probably would get everything paid for.
Have you played any festivals like over there?
We've played Kensal Calling. Where else?
Yeah.
Where else have we played on time?
We play Kensal Calling, Sound City, Great Escape, Liverpool International Music Festival, stuff like that. We'd love to do more though. Honestly, like I'd love to just play loads of festivals, but again, you need the booking agent, the manager, or a contact there to sort of get you on. I'd love to do.
Glasgow's a big one for me. Like,
Yeah, I'd love to do Leeds or Glasgow, because Leeds was Leeds was our first festival we ever went to, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was with us as well.
Yeah, it's like sort of everyone's rite of passage, innit? Leeds. I'd love to do that. And obviously Glastonbury, yeah, it'd be sick.
You released the EP. Is it View? I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, but View the Monde. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah,
When did you release that? 2019?
Yeah, November 2019. So that O2 Academy gig we done at the end of the year, that was the release gig for that. It's View the Monde. It's French for View the World. And that's like, if you've seen the artwork, you got like a girl looking out to the world. It sort of like ties into that.
yeah,
And it's also about our view of the world.
Yeah,
like the
we had a
lyrics
song
and stuff.
about it, but it didn't make it onto the EP.
Has it been
Yeah,
successful?
we had a song called-
It has the same name, but it didn't make the cut, unfortunately.
Has that been like relatively successful then? That EP?
Yeah, definitely. Like, if you, we've sold like loads of vinyl for it. We've had like good views on Spotify, good streams on Spotify for it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's probably the best one we've done. It's definitely the best one we've done. Best release. Obviously, we didn't sell millions of copies and stuff like that, but for us, we're made up just to be able to get something out there on a physical record, and people like it. So, like, we're happy. It's, in our eyes, it's successful. Yeah.
And like,
How long did it take to make one of them? Sorry. Go on.
sorry, like we had 2 songs that were already released that we put on it, and we thought, like, we need to get these on record. Like, Codependence was already released before we put it on, and we thought, like, this has to go on a record. And we were made up that we decided to do that. Like,
And again, it had like BBC Six Music played Codependence, Saint or Sinner, and Smile When You Sleep. We had people in America playing the tunes as well. So yeah, we obviously we're made up. If radio playing Spotify, that's the big one for us. Like,
yeah,
He's looking at like releasing an album anytime soon, or like.
there's
yeah,
been talks,
yeah.
like, it's definitely been.
we'd
talks.
love to. Like, again, like, it's what we'd love to do it, but we always feel like you need quite a bit of money to go in and record an album.
And you don't want to be like, you don't want to release it without the backing. Like, if you your first album, you want it to be like massive. Do you know what I mean? And without the backing, it'd be hard to do it on your own.
Does it like cost quite a lot, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, for like literally from like start to finish.
I think Clean Cut Kid, if you're talking about cost, I don't know, but Clean Cut Kid put on their Twitter the other day that their debut album cost, I think it was 100,000. No, don't quote me on that.
Grand.
But it's on their Twitter. They were signed though to a major label, and it's boss. The album's really, really good. But I think you can work with any sort of budget, but that's how much like a major label album costs. Obviously, we wouldn't get nowhere near that, but you do need a considerable amount of money in the tens of thousands range, maybe. Or you could do it DIY, but we don't really want to do that because we don't think it'll live up to the quality that we want it to be, sort of thing.
Yeah, you'd rather release something that's like better and wait, wouldn't you, than like something that.
Yeah, we're playing the long game. Like you hear the bands who like bedroom recordings have been played on radio and that, which is boss. Like, but for us, that's not what we want.
Yeah, and I think it's important to, you know, like each release you want to make a slight improvement. You know what I mean? You want to keep improving it as you go along with each release. But I think that would be something that we've definitely been looking at for a while. Like, but you know, without the backing, we'll have to wait and see. Might just have to keep releasing EPs till someone pays for it. Like,
yeah. Or we might
EPs till someone wants to pay for the album.
We might bite the bullet eventually. We don't know, do we? Like, no. We do want to release an album. In all honesty, it's one of the biggest things we want to do. But yeah, for them reasons, we're not too sure how to go about it, really.
I feel like it's one of them, innit, the first album. That's sort of like your identity as a band, then. Like, that's what you gain a lot of fans from. So it's probably better than, as you're saying, being good quality and that.
Yeah, and it's not even that. Like, it's all like the quality is a factor. But imagine if you had a boss quality record, like all the songs sounded perfect on it, and you had how do you distribute it out? Like, you need to have like PR money to advertise it to people to talk about it and that. So that's another thing, another massive cost. Just think like having some sort of backing is just going to help you push it.
Do you think you should just keep going until you get like that sort of backing?
Maybe.
That's what we've been doing up to now. Like,
yeah, that has been the plan. Like,
we've been doing it for 10 years or something, haven't we?
Definitely, lads. Yeah, but yeah, we don't know. Like,
I think it's important. No, like, do you know what I mean? It's you know, it's not the only thing that matters at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? That I still enjoy every second of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
I'm like so happy that I've been a part of it. Like, so you know, if it happens, it happens. But if not, I've still has it belt of time. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of something else and not. And like, you know, when we started the band, we wouldn't thought, so you know what, we might be playing New York in a bit. Like,
yeah, we didn't even think we'll be playing the Oldie Club.
Yeah. But you know, we just take it as it comes. See what happens.
Yeah, I was having a look at your Wikipedia the other day, and it said that you supported bands like Cast and DMAs. What would you say the best band you've supported is?
Do you know what? It's funny with the DMAs. When we supported them, like, I didn't give them a listen. Like, I wasn't really onto them at all. And since that gig, like, I've gotten bang into them, and I'm gutted. And like, imagine how good that would have been in the shipping forecast.
Yeah, it was in the shipping forecast for Liverpool Music Week. So, and there weren't that many people there. It was like maybe like 100 people there. And obviously, like a few years later, the headline Sound City in front of thousands. So, but at the time, DMAs was just another band, you know, who we were supporting from out of town. And then we eventually got onto them, like, and they're really good, obviously. But at the time, like, it weren't like, oh my god, we're supporting the DMAs. We're supporting these Aussies called the DMAs.
And supporting Casting, like, we've supported Cast twice, didn't we? Like,
they were boss.
The Dublin gig was really good as well. Like, that was another good little chip on it.
Yeah, and that Skin guitarist is just insane, isn't he? On the guitar. Yeah, so probably to answer your question, maybe probably Cast or DMA. Yeah, I probably flip a coin between the two.
But they look like they're going to be massive, don't they, the DMAs now? Like, they've completely just taken off.
Yeah, absolutely smashing it, like, aren't they? Like, you see in videos, like, I think they played somewhere in Manchester and that, and you just see the crowd, and you're like, oh, mad thinking they're from Australia and that.
It's weird, isn't it? The fact like they're so big over here.
The identity is really like, you know, English like, sort of like Britpop in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, proper
like,
Brit rock.
Yeah, so and it's funny that they've just come over and they're just gonna play in Manchester and got everyone on like people's shoulders and that singing along. But
Yeah, because even when we supported them, they were still like sort of the same band. Like they were wearing like Burberry caps and like trackies and tucking the socks into the trackies and that. But
it's definitely
like
took
that-
influence from
yeah,
from us, from England, I reckon. Like
not from us
not
personally.
from us personally. Like, I'm not telling anyone about my Burberry caps, but it's all coming out now, isn't it?
They've done like an MTV Unplugged and everything, haven't you, them? It's mad how, like, must have taken off.
Yeah, like the first time I got on them was that what's that? It's an Australian thing.
Triple J.
Triple J, that cover of Cher's Boss in it.
Yeah,
So
that went viral, didn't it? Yeah, they sung Life After Love, something like that.
Yeah.
Do you believe that one?
And that's what I was like, oh, we supported them. And I got to them after that. Like,
It's really good though for you, isn't it, that you have supported them? Like, if that's always there, then no matter how big they get, you've always supported them.
yeah, as well as in terms of like, when we've got like a press kit, which is just like a CV for a band, do you know what I mean? So you can put stuff like that on it, do you know what I mean? Every little thing that you've achieved, do you know what I mean? It goes on there, like.
I'm pretty sure, we could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure we played a festival called XY Festival years ago. I think Catfish and the Bottlemen were playing on it. I think it was the same day as us and on the same stage.
2012 it was.
Yeah, but I don't think we claim to have supported them because that was like a festival, so it's a bit different.
Yeah.
But seeing them, they were always a massive influence. Like they were just at 2012, no one would pay them a bit of interest. Like they were smashing it. They were selling out gigs, like only little gigs, like 200 capacity all over the country, and no one was talking about them. Like the NME would never write for them because they were just seen as like an indie band.
Yeah, like
and
they've
obviously now
done it. Like they've done it just through like sheer like hard work and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
they've been about,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like they've been on the scene since then. Just doing the right thing, just going around playing, and they've smashed it as well, playing stadiums and stuff like that. Mad.
So just you know, if anyone comes in and offers like a gig and stuff, do you just jump at it, or sometimes do you like think, oh no, I don't really want to do that one, or like?
Yeah, like you've got to pick your gigs carefully, especially like at the position we're in now. Maybe when you're starting out, just go for any of them. But we've started thinking about it more and thinking we can't be playing 10 gigs in Liverpool in the same month. We'd rather just have one boss gig, and one rather than 10 little small gigs. What aren't as good. But we do probably accept most gigs as long as it works with the timing of us. We don't really say no unless it's
especially out the city, like as well. In terms of like Liverpool gigs, we do think about them and like how much time we have to like, sell tickets for them and stuff like that. But anything outside of the city, we love a little away day, don't we? So
yeah.
Where would you say like the biggest like sort of like, apart from Liverpool, obviously, where your fan base is, like where else in the country have you been like well received and stuff?
We always seem to have boss gigs in London, don't we, Fitz?
Yeah. Like off that, wasn't it after like the first EP, and like we had a boss gig up here, didn't we? And then we played. Where was it in London?
Oh, it's called. I forgot it now. Does it begin with Blue? No, mate.
No, it was.
It was in Shoreditch. Where? Are we thinking of wrong things?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. But like it was like the first time anyone outside of the city had like sang back. We got like really good reception out there, and like I was buzzing off it like myself. Oh,
it was called the Old Blue Last. That was one of them we played in, and the Finsbury as well. We've had a couple of good gigs in there, and like people like it's always been chocker, and it's just mad because to be honest, most other places were not that well known apart from Liverpool, but London we always seem to get a decent little crowd there, and we genuinely don't know many of them.
Yeah, and
so that's always good
as well. Like I was really shocked that like because that was the first time it happened. Do you know what I mean? Outside the city and people like singing.
Yeah, so like when you look on our Spotify like statistics, London's the top city. I think that is the case for most bands because of like the population, how many people live in London compared to Liverpool. But it seems like in London, you could go to a gig on a Tuesday night and it'll be absolutely rammed in just like a little bar or a little pub. I think that's what's really good about London, where Liverpool, it's mainly like Friday, Saturday night are your big ones.
So before we wrap it up, have you got any more questions, Michael?
Yeah, a few actually. What would you say your favourite venue so far, like which you played at would be?
In Liverpool, I loved the Casimir, me.
Yeah.
Before it got knocked down, that the setup was just boss. It was like a hexagon, wasn't it? It was like
one of my favourite venues. That like
yeah, in terms of like the structure and set out.
We didn't really get to play it as many times as I would have liked, to be honest. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We did play quite a lot, but like, you know, in terms of going to a gig as well, it was brilliant. Like, do you know what I mean? Just the way it was set up with the balcony and stuff like that. Best venue at the minute.
Like the Zanzibar is always special to us as well. Like just because of the history and like what and like our first gig was there and
it's like Tony gave us our first gig, so it's like it's always gonna be remembered as like one of the venues that like helped establish us like. But I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
anywhere
like,
else? Like...
No, but like most venues inside are the same. You know what I mean? Especially the level what we're playing, where it's only like small venues. They're all like dingy, dark venues. They all have the same smell of that stale Carlsberg.
What was that
and
boss
bleach.
one in London where you had to? There was it just looked like an ale house, and then you had to go through the bogs.
Yeah, it's closed down that now. You had to go through the men's bogs to get to the stage area.
So that was cool. Like it's funny you remember like little stuff like that. You know what I mean? But yeah.
What would you say the weirdest thing you've seen is? Or like most bizarre?
We've seen loads of stuff, haven't we? Right. We had an experience in a kebab shop, didn't we?
Yeah. You're gonna tell them about this one because I feel like I'll let
you tell them, lad.
It was not a major. Like it was about 4:00 in the morning or something. Where did we play?
I don't know. We played in London somewhere, didn't we?
But someone was ordering at the counter and that, and I could hear something. It sounded like someone had a tap running and that. And I just turned around and there was someone just pissing against the counter. Like,
not even trying to hide it, just fully.
Yeah, just
fully pissing.
Like,
while we're eating our kebab.
We got it. He was like, the person got off and I was like, hey mate, they just has a piss there, you know. And he was like, no, they haven't, mate. No, they haven't. I was like, listen, just have a look on your cameras there. Someone's just has a piss there. Like, oh, the piss there. And it was like that, and we've actually got footage of him.
We've got the video.
I'm just like that, like I was on it. See, I told you. So there's probably loads. Like I'm saying.
Yeah, it's hard to think of them on the spot. No, I can't think. I think that one was the first thing that came to mind.
Has there ever been like any like deaf weird places like someone to recognise you or anything? Or like you've heard your song on something?
What do you mean? Like that weird?
Like it's like a bizarre place, like in the middle of nowhere or something like that.
I thought right. There's one where you played Brighton in the Great Escape, and someone said there's this like little mad party going on in this gaff. I don't even know where it was. I couldn't even tell you what it was, but it was just like old pub thing, and we rented it out, and they were all like, it was the launch. It was a beer launch. This Old Blue Last beer, Vice beer or something like that. And Wolf Alice were doing a DJ set, and there was like loads of heads there from bands. Like all Wolf Alice were walking around, like Swim Deep, all them were there, Peace and that. And we were pissed, and just like it felt like we shouldn't have been there. You know what I mean? It felt like we that weren't really our scene. And I remember Terry was we were messing. We were standing on the stairs, and Terry was asking people for ID, pretending to be bouncers and that, or asking people for wristbands. It was because you needed the wristband to get in. And Terry ended up asking this fella, and he was like, "What are you on about, mate? I'm the owner of this pub." Like that. And so Terry was like, "Oh my god, no!" I can't think of anywhere else like weird places.
Did you say like weird venues or like weird places people are there at the music?
Like someone like bumped into in the street or something like that, or like you've been out with someone like that. Like,
not like that, I don't think. But like there was a mad one. Like my girlfriend's like before we were together, she was like looking through a jukebox in Bristol, and we come up, and they were, like we didn't even know how we got onto it. You know what I mean? And so she was like that, like, and I went back a couple of years later with her, and it's still on there. So we'll have to check for getting the royalties off that one out on, cause
you Fitzy sent us a video of it blasting and him just dancing along.
Like booze is about the size of your front room, you know what I mean? Just loads of assholes.
So yeah, so wrap it up. We normally ask everyone, what's your favourite pint, boys?
Favourite pint?
I'm into me craft beer, me. So I like a good pint of German Weiss beer, but I do like schooners as well. Now I don't know if that's on topic for the pint podcast, but I do like little two-third schooners, if that counts.
I'm not gonna lie, I've never had one of them in my life.
Same.
A schooner's 2/3 of a pint.
It's 2/3 of a pint.
Yeah. For me, it's probably a good old-fashioned Carling, to be honest. Just out of quantity, like it's definitely what I drink the most. I'd definitely say that. But if I'm feeling fancy or something, I'd probably go for a Strella or something like that.
No schooners, no.
That San Miguel one. I like a little San Miguel one. Maybe a little Peroni, Eddick juice.
Yeah, so nice one for that, boys. That was the cheap.
Nice one, mate.
Appreciate
nice
coming
one.
on. Thanks a lot for that.
All right, mate. Nice.
Thanks.
No problem. Enjoyed it.
To that.
Yeah, let us know when it goes out and that, and we'll give it a little push for you.
Go ahead, Sam.
All right, nice one.
Thanks a lot, lads.
Yeah,
Good
thanks.
speeches. See you later.
Ta.
Bye.